Its mellow splendor, unstressed with storm-dipped heats, found room for the luxury of warm, mild days. The nice gold treasure of autumnal moon came floating, slipped through ripples of fairy air. This is that fairy air, you see, F-A-E-R-Y, angelic, you see. So, the rains are over. Now you have got the autumn moons here. That will be approximately around October, September, October, you see. Came floating ship through ripples of fair air. And Savitri's life was glad, fulfilled like ours. Yes, she has got that great position already. She is in the company of her husband. She wanted to do what she wants to do. She got it done and all that thing. Therefore, Savitri's life was glad, obviously. Fulfilled like earth. The gladness of Savitri, it is that which gives fulfillment to earth. The gladness of Savitri's life is that which gives fulfillment to earth. But I would like also to read the other way around. And earth's life was glad, fulfilled like Savitri's. I will interchange these two. Earth's life was glad, fulfilled like Savitri's. Which is true, of course. She had found herself. She knew her being's aim. Although her kingdom of marvelous change within remained unspoken in her secret place, she has not revealed to anybody at all, neither to her husband, to her parents-in-law, to the sages and the rishis who are there around the ashram. She has not revealed to anybody at all what was happening within her. Although her kingdom of marvelous change, that marvelous change is still, of course, this, the inner change, not the outer yet. But still that inner change is so powerful that it radiates all around. Its presence is felt, it spreads all around. Remained unspoken in a secret breast. All that lived round her felt its magic charm. Those who are sensitive, those who have perception, they feel what a new change has taken place in the atmosphere. Where from it has come, they have no idea, but they do feel that something has definitely changed. The air is more fragrant, the breeze is cooler, the scent is very powerful, the birds are singing happily. So all those changes, they feel suddenly that all that lived round her felt like magic charm. The trees rustling voices told the wind. The flowers spoke in ardent hues and unknown joy. So the flowers are speaking out, yes, suddenly they have become different altogether. The birds caroling became a canticle. So the song of praise has become, you see, everywhere. The bees forgot the strife and lived at ease. So that is the outer change which has already taken place. The atmosphere is so powerful there that you have overcome all the common difficulties of life, existence here, completely. The trees rustling voices told it to the wind, flowers spoke in ardent hues and unknown joy. The birds caroling became a canticle, so it has become a song of praise, a hymn of adoration to the one who has brought this change. The bees forgot the strife and lived at ease. So the whole ashram is now the deer and the lion, they are sitting together in the meditation room, you see. Nothing happened there. The bees forgot their strife and lived at ease. Absorbed in wide communion with the unseen, the mild ascetics of the wood received a sudden greatening in their lonely muse, in their meditation. in their thoughts, in their contemplation, they find that they are getting new enlightenment. New power is rushing to them. Where from it has come, they have no idea. How it has come, what has happened, they have no idea at all. But they do feel that. Those who are perceptive, see, even the birds and trees and the flowers, and of course, naturally, the ascetics will also feel that change, you see. This bright perfection of our inner state poured out, overflowing into our outward scene. So that is the outward scene, and it's flowing out everywhere. It is flooding the whole atmosphere, made beautiful, dull, common, natural thing, and action wonderful, and time divine. So time divine, that is what has happened due to this inner change which has taken place in Savitri. The divine power is now established in our soul, and the time has become divine time. It is not time human. Until now it was time human. It has now become time divine. And therefore naturally all actions are wonderful, made beautiful, dull, common, natural things. Savitri is doing all household things, pulling the water from the well, sweeping the floor, lighting the kitchen fire. She is doing all those things, but all those common natural things have a different beauty now altogether. It is overflowing in all her actions. Even the smallest, meanest work became a sweet or glad, glorious sacrament. So it's an offering, oblation, constantly. Whatever small little things she's doing, an offering to the self of the great world, or a service to the one in each and all. Service to the one in each and all. So when Savitri is cooking food, or pulling water, or doing household things like that, it is service not to the human beings. It is service to the one, to the divine himself. It has become a service to the divine himself. Now that is the great inner change which has occurred in Savitri. Now, see, Savitri is doing all the sadhana, her yoga, inside, in the inner being. It is the occult yoga. But the power of this occult yoga is such that it has opened to the cosmic dimension. Service to the one, it is a spiritual experience. The occult, the tantric sadhana has led to the Vedantic realization. In the case of Savitri, the tantric sadhana has led to the realization of the Vedic kind, of the spiritual kind. Service to one in each and all, this is typical spiritual experience of the Vedantic. A light invaded all from her being's light. So what a powerful change. Her heartbeats danced, communicated bliss. Happiness grew happier. Brightness became brighter. Sun has become sunnier. See, all this is happening. Shared with her by her touch, and grief some solace found when she drew near. Above the cherished head of Satyavan, obviously cherished head of Satyavan, whom she loves, she saw not now face dark and little o'er. This is what the painting is trying to show us. She saw not now face dark and little o'er. A golden circle round a mystic sun disclosed to her newborn petiting sight the cyclic rongeur of a sovereign life. What does she see now there? She is not seeing the dark and little orb there. She is seeing the rongeur of a sovereign life around it. Means it is not this human Satyavan now. She is already seeing present there the divine Satyavan. The cyclic rongeur of a sovereign life in her visions and deep spiritual dream, in brief shiftings of the future's heavy screen, he lay not by a dolorous decree that Satyavan must die 1 year after the marriage. That decree is already nullified in the soul of Savitri. That decree is no more present now in the soul of Savitri. It's gone. A victim in the dismal anthill of death, or born to blissful regions far from her, forgetting the sweetness of earth's warmth and light, forgetting the passionate oneness of love's cloud, absorbed in the self-wrapped immortal bliss. So it is no more now that dolorous decree, but what we have is the immortal bliss all around. She sees already there in Satyavan that presence is seen. Always he was with her. Satyavan would go early morning to the forest to do his routine works. But Savitri will be always with him. Always he was with her. The physical separation did not separate them. They were always together. A living soul that met her eyes with closed, enamored eyes. He did not see that thing, but that meeting there. Met her eyes with closed, enamored eyes, his eyes, you see. A living body near to her body's joy. Even on the physical plane, that union is there, that joy is there. But now, no longer in his great wild woods, in kinship with the days of bird and beast, and leveled to the bareness of earth's brown breast, but with the thinking high-built lives of men, in tapestried chambers on crystal floor, in armored town or garden pleasure walks, even a distance closer than her thoughts. Closer than her thoughts. You can imagine thoughts can go even from that closeness. Body to body, soul near to soul, moving as if by a common breath and will. So they are not really breathing different things. What Savitri is breathing simultaneously at once, it is he who is breathing, and his breath is her breath simultaneously. Body to body near, so it is not a physical separation which matters. They are physically present. The subtle bodies have become one in both the cases. Satyavan is not aware of it, but Savitri is. Body to body near to soul, moving as if by common breath and will. They were tied in the single circling of their days, together by love's unseen atmosphere, inseparable like the earth and sky. So Satyavan and Savitri are inseparable, the way the earth and the sky are inseparable. This is the Vedic phrase, earth and sky, earth and heaven. Java, Prithvi. Prithvi is earth, sky is heaven, Java. So they are always described as a couple, inseparable couple, Prithvi and heaven, Java. Thus for a while she trod the golden path. This was the sun before the abysmal night. Yes, that spiritual union is there, that is inseparable altogether. But this was only for a while. Something, what more, you see. Now the story is unfolding, you see. The story is unfolding, you see. Thus for a while she trod the golden path of the spiritual realization, of identity between the two. But this golden path is not golden enough. See, is not golden enough. That is in the spiritual sense, in the inner sense, it has to become outer also. This golden path is not yet golden enough. This was the sun before the abysmal night, night capital, the primordial night which is going to challenge Savitri. Savitri, you have found your soul, all right. But what about you, your physical being, your ignorant stuff, your inconscient nature? What about them? The night is going to challenge her. This was the sun before the abysmal night. See, this night is a primordial night. And what Savitri has realized, this golden path, etc., is only the sun, small sun. It is not yet the divine sun. You see, this was the sun. If it is the divine sun, capital sun, then night has no business to be there at all, you see. So how careful, how particular each thing is there. Capitalization, lowercase, uppercase. Each one has a meaning. Here S is small, here N is large, big, capital. Each has a connotation also. This was the sun. Because Savitri has only realized something inwardly. It is not a full sun which is now present there, you see. Therefore, it is a small sun.